Dear students, now let us see the respiratory metabolism in higher plants. Before that, we should know what is the respirations. Respiration is an important biological process in which oxygen enter into the cells where it oxidizes various food materials like carbohydrates, fats and proteins. As a result of oxidation, energy is extracted from the various food materials in the form of ATP molecules. This energy is utilized for the various physiological as well as synthetic process of the plants. Generally, the metabolism of a living organism can be grouped under two headings. One is anabolism, second one is catabolism. In anabolism means it is a biosynthetic processes. Photosynthesis is one of the best example for the anabolisms. And catabolisms, it is a biodegradative processes. Respiration is an example for the catabolisms. The respiration is one of the important process in the living system, particularly in the plants. And what are the respiratory substrates? The substrates which is used as a fuel for the respiration is known as respiratory substrates. The common respiratory substrates are carbohydrate, fats and proteins. Then what are the changes occur during the respirations? First point is O2 is utilized for the oxidation of organic compounds. Due to the oxidation of organic compounds, energy is released in the form of ATP molecules and CO2 is produced as well as water molecules also produced as one of the byproduct. So the total effect is the respiration is to extract the energy from the organic compounds. Then based on the involvement of oxygens during the respiration, it is of two different types. One is aerobic respiration and another one is anaerobic respirations. In aerobic respiration, oxygen is required for the oxidation of organic compounds. In anaerobic respiration, oxygen is not required. All the higher plants coming under the first category, that is in the aerobic respirations. Most of the microorganisms like bacteria, some of the fungal species, germinating seeds and fruits are coming under the anaerobic respirations. When we see the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration, first we can see the aerobic respirations. In the aerobic respiration, all the higher plants coming under this category, O2 is required, carbon dioxide, water molecules produced as a end product, and each molecule of carbohydrate can give 38 molecules of ATP because the carbohydrate undergoing complete oxidations. In the aerobic respiration, there is a 4 different stages: glycolysis, second one is a oxidation of pyruvic acids, and the third one is a Krebs cycles or TCA cycle or citric acid cycle, and last fourth stage is electron transport system or oxidative phosphorylations. Out of 4 stages, first stage, that is in the glycolysis, takes place only in the cytoplasm. Rest of the other 3 stages takes place in the inside of the mitochondria. But in the anaerobic respiration, most of the microorganisms like bacteria and some of the fungal species, germinating seeds and fruits are coming under this category. O2 is not required. Alcohol and carbon dioxide as the end product. In this anaerobic respiration, only 2 ATP molecule is produced because the carbohydrate undergoing only partial oxidations. The 2 ATP molecule is equal to 21 kilocalorie energies. In the anaerobic respirations, only the glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm. There is no any stage of oxidation of pyruvic acids, Krebs cycle and last stage electron transport systems. In this overall effect of anaerobic respiration, only the formation of 2 ATP molecules. But in the case of aerobic respiration, there is a formation of 38 ATP molecules. Now let us see the mechanism of respirations. In the aerobic as well as anaerobic respirations, there is a first stage, that is glycolysis. If it is aerobic respiration, there is another 3 more stages. First stage is glycolysis. It is a common stage for aerobic as well as anaerobic. And second stage is oxidation of pyruvic acids. And the third one is a Krebs cycle or TCA cycle or citric acid cycle. And the last fourth stage is electron transport system or oxidative phosphorylations. In the glycolysis, glucose is the raw materials. Today I told it is a respiratory substrates. During the glycolytic processes, the glucose is splitting into two molecules of 3-carbon compound, namely pyruvic acids. Glycolysis, it is a German word which means glyco is a sweet, that is a carbohydrate. Lysis means to split into two molecules. The carbohydrate is a 6-carbon compound. During the glycolysis, it converted into two molecules of 3-carbon compound, namely pyruvic acids. The glycolysis is first discovered as well as demonstrated by 3 German scientists, namely Emden, Meyerhoff and Parnas. So simply it is otherwise called by EMP pathway. Now let us see the each and every step of the reactions. In the glycolysis, the glucose in the first stage, the glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate with utilization of 1 ATP molecules by the activity of kinase enzymes. Glucose 6-phosphate is the compound which is produced by the addition of 1 phosphate from the external source. This glucose 6-phosphate converted into, due to the isomerization process, it converted into fructose 6-phosphate by the help of isomerase enzyme. Each and every step of the reaction during the respiration, there is a number of enzymes which are specialized for each and every reactions. Particularly in the isomerization process, isomerase, the name of the enzyme, catalyzes the reactions. After the formation of fructose 6-phosphate, it utilizes one more ATP. After the utilization of ATP, it converted into fructose 1,6-diphosphate. Diphosphate means 2 phosphates. 1,6 means 1 phosphate is attached on the first carbon of the compound and another phosphate is attached on the 6th carbon of the compound. That is fructose 1,6-diphosphate. From the fructose 1,6-diphosphate, it converted into 2 molecules of 3-carbon compound, namely 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. These are all 3-carbon compound. These 2 3-carbon compound, both of them are interconvertibles. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate can convert it into 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde. Between the two compounds, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is a suitable form for undergoing another step of the reaction in the glycolysis. So, dihydroxyacetone phosphate can convert it into in the form of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde converted into 1,3-diphosphoglyceraldehyde with the utilization of 1 phosphoric acids. This 1,3-diphosphoglyceraldehyde converted into 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acids. During this conversion process, 1 NAD is reduced into 1 NADH2 molecules. This 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid converted into 3-phosphoglyceric acids. During the conversion process, 1 ATP molecule is produced. This 3-phosphoglyceric acid, once again it converted into 2-phosphoglyceric acids. This 2-phosphoglyceric acid is converted into phosphoenol pyruvic acids. These phosphoenol pyruvic acids, once again it converted into pyruvic acids. During this conversion process, 1 ATP molecule is produced because each molecules of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde can produce 2 molecules of ATP and 1 molecules of NADPH2. So, the total production of ATP molecule is 4 and NADP is 2. But net gain of the ATP only 6 because already 2 ATP molecule is utilized in the preparatory stage of glycolysis. Now let us pass on to the another stage of the respiration, that is oxidation of pyruvic acids or oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvic acids. End of the glycolysis, there is a formation of 2 molecules of 3-carbon compound, namely pyruvic acid is produced. Up to the glycolysis, all the reaction takes place in the cytoplasms. After the formation of pyruvic acids, it enter into the mitochondria where it undergoing second stage, third stage and fourth stage of the respirations. Now let us see the second stage, oxidation of pyruvic acids. 2 molecules of pyruvic acids undergoing oxidative decarboxylation. Due to the decarboxylation process, from the pyruvic acids, one molecule of carbon atom is released from each molecule of pyruvic acid in the form of carbon dioxide. So, 2 molecule of carbon dioxide is released from 2 molecule of pyruvic acids. At the same time, during the conversion process, there is a 2 molecules of NADPH2 also produced from the pyruvic acids. Due to the decarboxylation process, it converted into acetyl-CoA. With the removal of one carbon atom from the pyruvic acids, it is converted into 2 carbon compound, namely acetyl-CoA. This acetyl-CoA enter into the third stage of the respirations. Now we can see the summary of second stage, that is oxidative phosphorylation. In this second stage of respiration, O2 is utilized, carbon dioxide is released. During the conversion process, there is a 2 molecules of NADH2 is produced. This NADH2 can go to the last stage of the respiration. In the last stage, each NADH2 can give 3 molecules of ATP. Now let us see the third stage of the respirations, that is Krebs cycles. The Krebs cycle are otherwise named as TCA cycles. TCA means tricarboxylic acid cycles, and another name is citric acid cycles, because the first formed stable compound in the Krebs cycle, it is a citric acid, so it is named by citric acid cycles. This Krebs cycle, first time it was discovered as well as demonstrated by England scientist Sir H.A. Krebs. For his outstanding work, he was awarded a Nobel Prize in the year 1937. And the other name of the Krebs cycle is TCA cycles, that is tricarboxylic acid cycles. Tricarboxylic acid cycle means during the Krebs cycles, there is a number of intermediate compounds are produced. Some of the compounds are having tricarboxylic group in the structures. So it is named by tricarboxylic acid cycles. Now let us see the each and every step of the Krebs cycles. 2 molecules of acetyl-CoA enter into the Krebs cycle, where it combines with 2 molecules of oxaloacetic acid. This oxaloacetic acid is a 4 carbon compound. Acetyl-CoA is a 2 carbon compound. Both of them are combined to form the 6 carbon compound, namely citric acids, by the number of enzymes. Each and every step of the Krebs cycle is mediated by number of some specific enzymes. 2 molecule of isocitric acid converted into 2 molecule of oxalosuccinic acids. During the conversion process, 2 molecules of NAD is reduced into NADH2. This oxalosuccinic acid once again converted into 2 molecules of alpha ketoglutoric acids. During the conversion process, 2 molecule of carbon is released in the form of carbon dioxides. This alpha ketoglutoric acid is a 5 carbon compound, because 1 carbon is released from each compound. So it is a 5 carbon compounds. From the alpha ketoglutoric acids, with the removal of 1 carbon dioxide from each molecule, it converted into succinyl-CoA. During the conversion process, there is a formation of NADH2. 2 molecules of ketoglutoric acid, it is used to formation of 2 molecules of NADH2. During this conversion process, there is a 1 more carbon atom is released from the each molecule of alpha ketoglutoric acid in the form of carbon dioxides. From the alpha ketoglutoric acids, there is a formation of 2 molecule of succinyl-CoA. It is a 4 carbon compound. These 2 molecule of succinyl-CoA, it is converted into 2 molecule of succinic acids. During the process, during this reaction, 2 molecules of ATP is produced. From the 2 molecule of succinic acid, it converted into 2 molecule of fumaric acids. These are all the 4 carbon compound. During this conversion process, 2 molecule of FAD is reduced into 2 molecule of FADH2. Here there is no any formation of ATP as well as NADPH2. Only FADH2 alone produced during this stage. These 2 molecule of fumaric acid, it is a 4 carbon compound, combined with the water molecules in the presence of fumarase enzyme, it converted into 2 molecule of malic acid. It is also one of the 4 carbon compound. There is no any change in the carbon number. these two molecules of malic acid, once again it undergoing dehydrogenation process to form the two molecule of oxaloacetic acid. During this process or during this reaction, two molecule of NAD is reduced into two molecule of NADH2. This oxaloacetic acid, once again it combine with acetyl-CoA and start the another Krebs cycles. So it is a cyclic reaction takes place in the inside of the mitochondria, particularly in the third stage of the respiration. Now let us see the summary of Krebs cycles. From the Krebs cycles, we can understand there is a requirements of oxygens because there is a oxidation process takes place, as well as carbon dioxide is released and number of NADH2, FADH2 and ATP molecules are produced. The total number of NADH2 is 6 because there is a 3 stages of reactions. 2 molecules in each stage is produced. 2 molecules of NADH2 in each stage is produced. So total number of NADH2 formation is 6 and the total number of FADH2 is 2 and the total number of ATP molecule is 2. So these are all the formation of NADH2 and FADH2 and ATP molecules from the Krebs cycles. Now let us pass on to the last stage in the respiration, that is electron transport system or oxidative phosphorylations. From the first stage, that is glycolysis and oxidation of pyruvic acid and Krebs cycles, there is a number of NADH2 as well as FADH2 are produced. These NADH2 and FADH2 can enter into the last stage of the respiration where it converted into ATP molecules. In the last stage, that is in the fourth stage, there is no any formation of new ATP molecules. Only the conversion process takes place from the NADH2 into ATP molecules. NADH2 as well as FADH2, there is a energy is present in the molecules. This energy is extracted or liberated from the molecules and it moves to the molecular oxygens during the oxidation process. While moving the electron from the NADH2 and FADH2, it passes number of intermediate electron carriers. These are all the intermediate compounds. While traveling the electrons from one intermediate compound to another intermediate compound, there is a loss of energy. This loss of energy is utilized for the formation of ATP molecules. In the last stage, each molecule of NADH2 can converted into 3 molecules of ATP and each molecules of FADH2 can converted into 2 molecules of ATP. Now let us see the balance sheet of ATP molecules. How much ATP molecule is produced from the overall reaction of respirations. First we can see the first stage of the respiration, that is in the glycolysis. In the glycolysis there is a formation of 2 molecules of NADH2. 2 molecules of NADH2 can give 6 molecules of ATP. 2 into 3 is equal to 6 molecules of ATP. There is a formation of ATP molecules. So the total number of ATP molecules in the glycolysis is 8. And in the second stage, that is oxidation of pyruvic acid, there is a formation of 2 molecules of NADH2. These NADH2 can give 3 molecules of ATP. 2 molecules of NADH2 can give 6 molecules of ATP. Net gain of ATP molecules in the second stage is 6. And in the third stage, in the Krebs cycle, there is a formation of 6 NADH2 molecules. 6 NADH2 molecules can give 18 ATP molecules because 6 into 3 is equal to 18 ATP molecules. And there is a formation of 2 FADH2 molecules. These each FADH2 molecules can give 2 molecules of ATP. So 2 into 2 is equal to 4. There is a direct formation of 2 ATP molecules. The number of formation of ATP molecules in the Krebs cycle, from the NADH2 18, from the FADH2 4, from the direct formation of ATP is 2. So total number of ATP molecules from the overall reaction of respiration is 38. From this result, each molecule of carbohydrate can give 38 molecule of ATP or 673 kilocalorie energies. So from the each molecule of carbohydrate can give 38 molecule of ATP molecules. If it is a anaerobic respiration, it is a partial oxidations. In the aerobic respiration, there is a liberation of 6 carbon atom from the compounds in the form of 6 carbon dioxide molecules, because each molecule of carbohydrate undergoing complete oxidations. But in the case of anaerobic, it is a partial oxidations. Here, if you see the summary of anaerobic respiration, only the carbon dioxide is released only 2 molecules. Rest of the molecules of carbon atom, it is utilized for the formation of alcohol. Now, let us see the conclusion of these respirations. Respiration is one of the biological process in which oxygen is utilized for the oxidation of various food materials. In the result of oxidation, energy is derived from the compounds. This energy is utilized for the various physiological as well as synthetic process of the plants. And in the second point, the respiratory substrates is a carbohydrate, fats and proteins. Mainly for the respiration, carbohydrate is the main respiratory substrates. Based on the involvement of oxygens, it is of 2 different types. One is aerobic respiration and another one is anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, oxygen is utilized for the oxidation of food materials. In anaerobic respiration, oxygen is not utilized. Most of the microorganisms coming under the anaerobic respiration, all the higher plants coming under the aerobic respirations. In the aerobic respiration, takes place by following 4 different stages. First one is a glycolysis, second one is a oxidation of pyruvic acid, and third one is a Krebs cycle, and the last stage is a oxidation of oxidative phosphorylation or electron transport chain. Out of 4 stages, first stage glycolysis takes place only in the cytoplasm. Rest of the 3 stages takes place in the mitochondria. All the 4 stages, first 3 there is a formation of NADH2, FADH2 and ATP molecules. In the last stage, in the 4th stage, there is a conversion of ATP molecules from NADH2 and FADH2. All the conversion process takes place only in the mitochondria. So there is a large number of ATP molecules produced only in the mitochondria. So it is called by powerhouse of cells. Now we can say the nutshell of respiratory processes. Each molecule of carbohydrate can give 38 number of ATP molecules or 673 kilocalorie energies. This energy is utilized for the growth and development of plants.